to Wise Up on Air. Hey, good to be here on for me, it's Wednesday morning in Portland, Oregon. Good to be back on the home turf after a couple of weeks in Montreal talking about Wise. And speaking of that, we are going to go deep into sculpting the road trip soundtrack of the game, heading out here with Damian Czajka coming up here in a few. But before we get to it, we got some news to go over and a special guest joining us today. So let's go. Talking about why we're here, this is the Audiokinetic news section. Wise. I know I wouldn't be here without it, and so cool to be here this year celebrating Audiokinetic's 25th anniversary. Of course, they've been cranking out Wise over the last 20 years for the community, working on interactive audio. And this summer, we've been digging into the 25.1 beta. We are currently in beta 3. And so a ton of cool stuff out there for folks to get their hands on and try out as we continue to evolve these interactive audio workflows across the user experience, our 3D audio and acoustics, integrations, and the sound engine. Dig into the What's New 25.1 beta that's over at audiokinetic.com to get a deep dive on all of the features that are in the box. And turn back the wheel of time. We've been talking about the features in the upcoming release across our beta 1 hand-on live stream. Beta 2, we went deep into the media pool and our new similar sound search feature. And then beta 3, we captured our side chaining and multiband dynamics story, EQ graph in the parametric EQ, side chaining across the compressor, expander, and now the parametric EQ as well as of beta 3. So dig back into our previous live streams here and go deep on these new features. If you've been in and working with the media pool and similar sound search, we're inviting you to come out for a focus group. We want to hear more about your experience with those new features. And speaking of new features, we just went hands-on with a couple of folks from the R&D team talking about our GameObject 3D viewer, new features for settings visibility, as well as being able to select objects in the 3D view to get more information about it in the new property panel in the 3D viewer. We also talked about the dual shelf filter. We did some auditioning with it in the Wise Audio Lab and, going hands-on with these features, trying to surface the cool work that the team is doing. And again, from the folks behind the feature is what Wise Up on Air is all about. We got one more planned for you coming up with the integrations team. So get subscribed across Twitch and YouTube, and we'll keep you updated when that gets scheduled. And if you haven't already, go grab the beta from the Audiokinetic launcher, take the survey there, carry that feedback to us, because we're driving development based on your experience that you communicate to us and evolving every time with that. Be sure to ask questions, contact support, report bugs, or send any general feedback that you might have about the new version. And yeah, stay tuned. Our full release is coming up this fall. There's one more thing that we haven't talked about that we're saving for that Wise Expo for 2025.1. So come back to us, and we're looking forward to talking more about what will be landing in your pipeline using Wwise in the future. Strata, meanwhile, our sound library in multi-track format, continues to evolve across collection releases. Of course, Strata is more than just the sounds. It comes with a suite of VST plugins, integrations across sound libraries. We have many partners that we've been working with. We've expanded the subscription options for it. And we've also launched the new Strata Sample 4. So this is, high resolution weapon sounds pulled directly from World War I firearms. Get queued up. It is part of 4 samples that you can download right now through the Audiokinetic launcher. And you can use those sounds in whatever projects you're working on. They come with a license, making them free to use. And so jump in and check out Strata. Let's talk about Audiokinetic in the community. We have been out there recently as part of the Wwise tour in Shanghai. Some folks headed over to Shanghai to give a presentation. The folks behind Split Fiction went deep into it with a shared in-person and remote presentation that I'm sure gave a great perspective on their use of split screen and how they managed to carry across this dynamic representation of the co-op experience. We had a preview of that earlier this year at the Game Developers Conference when they landed at the Audiokinetic Community Theater. And it's great to see folks in Shanghai coming out to hear more about that. So cool stuff. Anyone in the chat make it to that? Let us know. And good to see you this morning. Meanwhile, next week, Game Sound Con. Here it comes, Burbank, California. We're excited to be landing there again with friends and colleagues talking about Wwise across 2 days of presentations. We have a room off to the side where we've brought together a bunch of experts in Wwise to talk about things like dynamic mixing, spatial audio acoustics. We've got introductory classes on music, as well as advanced music classes. We've got what we're calling the haptics petting zoo at the end of the first day, where Tyler Hoffman from Insomniac is going to bring some of this physical experience using Wwise Motion to Game Sound Con, as well as a panel at the end of the second day on accessibility and audio. So bringing together, again, experts coming from that perspective to talk about the role that we can play as audio designers in the community. So who's going to be at Game Sound Con? Let me know. I'm looking forward to seeing you there next week. Going to be a great time. And if you're interested in getting more out of your Wwise experience, get signed up for our workshops. We have a couple upcoming, including one today on interactive music with Wwise. But if you're interested in acoustics in Unreal or Unity, or managing multilingual dialogue with Wwise, we have some workshops coming up that might interest you, so dig in. And free for everyone, of course, is always our Audiokinetic blogs. We continue to surface the great work that folks in the community are sharing with us and with you. And so with that, jump in and, really learn from folks who are graciously sharing. Just a huge thanks to folks out there who are contributing to the knowledge share in the community and helping to lift all of the boats if that analogy makes sense. Yeah. Speaking of the rising tide that lifts all boats, I want to welcome to Wise Up on Air as part of the community spotlight, Guido Fazzito. So welcome, Guido.
Hello, Damian. How are you?
Oh,
Hi, everyone. My
doing
name is
so
Guido.
good.
Hello.
For those who don't know me, I'm a technical audio programmer on the day, which is like a technical audio, a technical sound designer, and audio programmer. That's on the day. On the night, I'm a music designer, and I come from the very far, far lands of AVA, which stands from Audio for Video Games in Argentina. A great place to be. So, well,
Awesome.
I'm here today about a thing that we've been developing, which is the Faust to Wise audio integration. And you might say, well, what's Faust? And that's a great question, Damian.
Ha.
So, Faust, it's an open source audio programming language. I repeat, it's a programming language specific for audio, all right? And it's amazing because it has the high level of the Python language in the syntax, while providing the speed and power of C++. And the other thing that is amazing is that it has a compiler, which allows you to integrate Faust into a multiple variety of another languages, being like BSD, CLAP, C++, Rust, Maximus P, Pure Data, Super Collider, VSV, RAC, etc., 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 and now Wise. Faust has been used not only into experimental developing of some crazy ideas, but also it's been used for commercial applications. So it's a very powerful tool to be in your arsenal. And we can continue. So I've been doing a manual integration with Faust and Wise in a couple of months, but this year we team up with Pascalis Melissas and Stefan Letts, and we developed at the Google Summer of Code the Faust to Wise integration to create plugins from Faust into Wise, but automatically with one command. It's magic.
Yeah.
And you can create both source effect or effect plugins inside Wise, being the source plugins, the plugins that generate sounds, and the effect plugins, those who take an input, process it, and takes out the sound processed. All right. And we have supported features, which are you can include RTPC and states configurations in the parameters. You have multi-channel audio support. You have error handling. I think we developed like 9 different types of error. So when there's a bug, you can easily identify and quickly fix the problem. And we have support for speaker configuration inside Wise. With the supported features come the unsupported features, which are that bar graphs, which are the indicators of values in Faust, are not supported, neither MIDI or sound file primitives, but sound file are for loading files, which is something that Wise takes care, so it's not needed. Also, important thing on people using macOS, we have a specific thing, so we recommend you to check the official documentation for including plugins in Mac. And what are the steps? First, you create the Faust code. Here you have an example of a comp filter. You know that Wise, unfortunately, doesn't provide a comp filter plugin, but with Faust, it comes inside the standard library. You have like 11 different type of comp filters, and in 11 lines, of those 11, 3 are spaces. The other 3 are like naming declarations, like this is the name of the file. The other one is to import the library. The other 4, one is for declaring a constant, like the max delay. The other 3 are for setting the variables. And so the actual coding line is the last one, which stands for process and the filter, and you put the parameters. So in 11 lines, you have the filter. Then the other thing, the second step is to run the command prompt and type Faust to Wise and the name of the plugin in Faust. Then you go to the bathroom, you make some coffee, and when you come back, bam, you have the Wwise plugin.
Amazing.
It's
Where do we
wow.
start, Guido?
So the first thing that I would suggest to start with the online IDE. Faust provides you with an online framework, so you can open your browser and start there. You can click in the examples tab, go into game audio and use some of the examples, which I think some of them are taken from the Designing Sound from Andy Farnell, that book of processing audio synthesis for video games. You can also in the if you go with the next slide, if you have some questions, you can you can put the mouse over the function, and it will display a pop-up window with examples, the definitions, what are the variables that come into the function, what are the min and max values. You can, and it even can redirect you to the official documentation Faust. You can have a lot of libraries, like the standard Faust libraries come with almost all of that libraries. Yeah, I think all of them. So you can have there, like, you have compressors, delays, envelopes, filters, HOA, which is a high order ambisonic. Yeah, you can create high order ambisonic with Faust. Algebra, well, you have physical modeling instruments, reverbs, synthesizers. You have a lot of things. You just go into the documentation, get lost in the available information that it's out there, and have fun. And lastly, if you want to see Faust in action, well, you can check my YouTube channel where I share game audio stuff with Wwise, Faust, and audio programming things in maximum speed. And you can check, I made a wah-wah pedal if you want to sound like Slash in your game. I made a game engine, like a car engine, the jambi instrument, which is like a percussion instrument, and a delay, I think. But yeah, with this integration, there are more plugins to come, so stay tuned. And you can also check the Faust Discord group. There you will have a lot of great folks ready to help you to develop the crazy idea that you have and you want to implement in your Wwise middleware.
Amazing. That's just fantastic resource for folks to have as part of the as part of that Wwise Faust to Wwise compiler. So Guido, what's the next thing that you're gonna do with Faust to Wwise? What are you dreaming up inside of that head of yours for the future?
Well, the thing is, so there are so much things. The first thing would be like to provide like a basic or a basis, like some simple code for those wanting to start with Faust, so you can copy paste the code and put the command line Faust to Wwise, and have the actual plugin working, so they can start with simple examples of the Faust capabilities, simple and small project, and then to start scaling and developing on that. Because the idea is to show you the potential that Faust has, because it's a very powerful audio programming language. And again, because you can create, it can be deployed in a variety of different platforms. Maybe you can start in your DAW. You can make your custom plugin with Faust that you can export into a VST, use it into your DAW, create the sounds there, and then you can say, okay, well, I have the Faust in my DAW. What about having Faust on my middleware? And now you can do it.
Yeah.
So you can have one Faust to rule them all.
Nice. And this idea of going between, your linear production and your interactive production means that you can choose those parameters that you want to be dynamically accessible at runtime in Wwise. So scaling the filter values based on distance, or changing the tempo of a generative synthesis system source plugin based on the health of a character. Transitioning from that linear mentality to the runtime mentality, allowing for that flexibility.
Exactly. And because now it's more accessible, the idea behind this, well, maybe I will come steps back, but the idea behind this is to close the gap between audio programming and the sound designers or the composers to develop the ideas and to not think about like, okay, I have these limitations of the software that doesn't allow me to implement the idea that I have in my head. So
Amazing.
now you have more accessible, you have more freedom. That's at the end of the day what this integration is. And on the other hand, is to with more tools we can push the boundaries of what game audio can be, because there's a lot to do, and there's a lot to be said still.
Amazing.
So
great inspiration to take into our next presentation, and for the community at large, unlocking this. Guido, thanks so much for your work and presentation today on it. Great to have you on the live stream. I've seen you alongside us in the past and in the chat, so thanks so much for joining us here today.
No, thanks a lot to you, Damian, and I'm glad to be part of the Wwise community.
Yeah. All right.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Take care. See ya. All right. So we're going to go Wwise Developer Spotlight. Today, sculpting the road trip soundtrack of Heading Out. I want to welcome to the live stream Damian, Czajka. This is Wwise Up on Air. Yeah.
Hi, guys.
All right.
Nice to see you.
Cool.
Thanks, Guido, for your great presentation. This is fascinating what you showed us. Hello, Damian.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, great to have you here today. Thanks for hanging in the wings. And I couldn't be more excited to get started on this presentation, but give us a snapshot here up front. Tell us a little bit about you, what your role is, and how you've arrived here today to talk about Heading Out.
Yeah, so the road was bumpy, I think. I'm doing stuff correlated with sound and music for more than 20 years now. Professional way. I used to doing music and sound effects for animations. Then I went to commercials, to movies, animation series. And finally, I get to the game development. I found people who were programming games and looking for some sound design there. So I just jumped into it and try to manage things at first without any middleware, but it took 11 years now working in the industry. But after a few years, I realized I want to jump into middleware. I start with Fmod, and very quickly I changed it to Wwise, and I stayed with Wwise. And that was the best decision I think I made that day. It wasn't easy to start with working in professional game industry, but I started with small projects and they were getting bigger, bigger, and finally I get to Serious Sim, the company with which we start creating Heading Out, and there was a vast space, a huge space to try using Wwise in many ways and try to simulate the cars and the adaptive music system and put it all together in one piece. So yeah,
amazing. That's the career trajectory, and I love the way that scales over time as you've grown into this interactive role. And you come from a background of sound and music, and so now to arrive here today, the realization of this game, its interactivity, well, you've just really created a synthesis of your background and really pulled on a lot of the strengths that really games as a medium allow. So it's cool to be landing here with you today talking about how you used Wise.
Yeah. So I also love how the game's adding another dimension to the workflow, because creating animation movies, it was just starting something and creating till the end, and was for me obvious what I'm doing and how it will behave. The game's creating a living organism situation where
Yeah.
many scenarios can happen, and thinking about it and creating something that works in that environment is wonderful. And looking how it's managing all the obstacles that it can have.
It's true. And a game like Heading Out really has, humans at the center of that story. And I think that audio helping to connect the emotions there with the fun of stepping into the role. But let's dig in deeper. If you're ready to jump in,
I'm
let's
ready.
go.
Let's go.
Cool.
So I created the presentation based on the map from our game. So we're gonna have a small journey through the sound system and the music system I've created for this game. The sound system was created by myself. The music was co-composed with my friend Lucas Kościelny, and there was a lot of musicians and a lot of singers also included in that game production. So I can thanks to them all, but it's impossible to talk about everyone because usually there is a lot of people included into the workflow.
It takes a
on the
team,
game.
right? It takes a team across all disciplines, and audio often centered on that. So yeah, I believe you when you say there's a lot of people involved to make it all work right.
Yeah, so let's start. Let's dig in. And first, I'll tell you what is Heading Out. What is the idea for the game? So the first thing we wanted to create is a joy of the ride. So just fire up your muscle car, tune the great music, and just enjoy the ride through the America. And what we really wanted to do is to personalize every run. That is, every time is unique. You have some form of character creator, psychological test that will create different scenarios for you. And the radio host will react in different way, the way you choose those answers, and based on your actions in the game. So it has a lot of different scenarios you can create in the game, and every game will be different. You never will repeat the same story. If you're gonna play maybe 1 million times, maybe you will, but mostly you won't. So this is the main pillar as well, and experience the American myth. So what we wanted to preserve, the pop culture myth, an American West, some themes like outlaws, freedom, vast open areas, deserts, mountains, Route 66, classic rock and American music, road movies from the 70s, and of course, muscle cars.
Yeah. Well, there's some great touch points there too, throughout the game. I can't help but bring up the film Vanishing Point from the 70s that just really hits the spot in the context of this experience. Racing across the country, dodging the cops at every turn, and I guess I love the procedural aspect of the way that you navigate throughout the game, not just on the road behind the vehicle, but in between towns, the kind of mini games that you have to play in order to get from place to place. It's a great experience. Well done.
Yeah. So when you mentioning the vanishing point, I will get to it in a minute.
Amazing.
But let's start the engine and let's see the inspirations of the game. If in the game, in terms of games, for our game are the Driver series for aesthetics, Interstate 76 for 70s vibe, GTA for radio hosts, Faster Than Light. This is our map, strategy map. So this is our like resource-based mini game as well. Need for Speed for Run, the Run for story structure, and Fallout 1 and 2 for random encounters. And as you mentioned, the movies, Vanishing Point and the first place, the inspiration for the game, Two-Lane Blacktop, Thelma and Louise, the comics, you can see the graphic here, Kasha with their friends from 2D Art. They created wonderful comic illustrations you will see in the presentation. So they giving this vibe of the comic. We're playing in 3D maps. It looks like you're playing a comic book as well. And the novels, The Road, The People's History of United States. So the code name, the first name, which was secret for our game, was Vanishing Point. We changed it later for Heading Out.
Sure. It's funny because I saw it in the theater at a small, playing old movies, movie house where I grew up a million years ago. And of course, if folks haven't dug into that, Two-Lane Blacktop, Thelma and Louise, I also have to say the Primal Scream album, Vanishing Point, which samples from that film, is another excellent touch point. Great stuff. So glad to see it here referenced.
So we can start our journey, and the way how we move on the map in our game, we can move to other city and get to our next point on the presentation. So the plan for the sound effects and music. So this is something what everybody will meet at the beginning of the production, every sound designer. So the things we want and the things we can do. So obviously, we wanted to create the best simulation of the car ever we could create. We wanted the songs to determine the race time. So how long the race will took, it will finish with the songs ending. So it was challenging to fit the racetracks to length of the song, to have them enough short, enough long for the longest songs and have enough fun for the shorter songs. So there was a design puzzle for our design for the Kuba, who was designer of the game, to think about the way how it's supposed to work. And we wanted to have live-like radio shows with roguelike approach. So we had jingles, live call-ins, competitions, interviews, news, weather news, commercials. And we thought about GTA radios, when you can switch just the radio and find your famous host and keep it with him. But the scope for creating something like that was too hard and too big. And to have this roguelike approach, when you have 4 or 5 different radio talks, which are describing the same situation but different choices of the player, create a vast majority of content. And there is we had to try to find the best way to do it. So we just created a small chunks of those radio talks, those jingles, competitions, just to create this feeling of having the conversation in the back, but mostly we listen to the music in the race and when we finish the race, we can hear the snippets, hear just a part of the show that is mentioning our last actions or mentioning our last choices.
Yeah, it's that contextual piece that changes depending on how you play it, and then also where you're traveling along the map, because there's a lot of player choice around where you
Yes.
take the story, and so yeah, presenting that in a way that's dynamic and contextual, that's a great goal to have.
Yeah, and so with our car sound simulation, because we haven't got a too large budget for creating like recordings where we could hire the cars and put the microphones and spend few weeks recording different scenarios with the cars, like you would do it with AAA grade game. We have to think about finding the best assets we can find on the market for car simulation sounds in every manner, from the not only engines but tires, skids, skips, the whole body, how it's moving, and the metal is changing its sounds. There was a lot of things included to create this experience of being in real car, and the car behaves the way we want it. Depends on the surface we are driving. So this was the solution for us, the best solution for the simulation for the car. And of course, live music, we could stay with it. So create original songs with vocalists as well, and to create this immersive sound to keep up this feeling of 70s, to keep this climate from the references I already show you, the movies and the other games.
Yeah,
okay.
That music really pushes you down the road for sure. It's propelling you on this journey.
Right. So we move to the next city, and now let's talk about the engine. I will just put it in the chunks so we can discuss different parts of the car we've been simulating. And so, like I mentioned before, we didn't record sounds for the cars, but we used a lot of recordings that we could buy on the market, and try to simulate some of the stuff by just sound design. So thinking about how we can make something sound like that, and using something totally different and to mimic the sounds from the car. So that was also the case for us. And we tried to find the best engine we could find on the market. And we looked into plugins in Wwise. We first test the Krotos Igniter Live. And we tried it a little bit in different scenario. And we wanted to try another one as well, which was Ref plugin from Crankcase. And we loved it. We loved it, the way how it's simulating the muscle cars, V6, V8 engines. We could also find there other engines that could mimic other cars we wanted to create in our game. The Krotos was very good in terms of modularity. It's really great for maybe special design of engines, like future engines for rockets, for spaceships. But I think the Crankcase really nailed it with the Ref in terms of a real experience of the engine, the real simulation. So we stayed with the Crankcase. So we needed 4 playable cars. We need a lot of different variants of engines for our rivals. NPC traffic, so we have passengers, cars, vans, trucks, and all of them were put it through the ref. So there is a lot of ref instances in our game at one time. But they are those instances for the other cars, for NPCs. They are quite smaller than the simulation for the players, for the car of the player.
Right, and you're talking about the parameters that you have tied into the simulation for the player car, which we'll go deep into how extensive that is, and then simplifying that simulation for the NPC vehicles so that
Yes.
So that it's more performant.
Yeah, great.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll just start from small showcase of different sounds of our muscle cars, and not only. Okay, let's. So the hot rod, European car, and Japanese car, which, if someone ever heard Nissan, this is Nissan engine. Yeah. So this is just a small snippet. I will get. This is the muscle car in-game environment, so we can listen how it behaves.
Be advised, we can't follow him past the county line. I've lost him. He drove off-road.
So what we can hear, there is a lot of dynamic mixing, because when the voiceovers are coming from for example, from police or from NPCs, we have to get down a little bit with the overall sound from the game. But also we have a solution for dynamic mixing for the game. When for example, we slow down or hit other car, then the engine sound will go up a little bit when it's changing its RPMs in fastest speed. So it gives the best feedback from the engine. And when we going straight with the high speed, then the engine volume is going down a little bit to give us more feedback from other things around us. So that was, I think, something that really is working nice. And thanks to Kuba, who was a programmer, we managed to do that. Yes, Damian, you wanted to ask something, or?
Oh, no, I was mostly just commented on how rich that interactivity was, touching on things like surface materials for the tire sounds, skidding. Like, there's a lot of depth there that I know we're going to get deeper into.
Yeah.
But it's so great to hear that in action, and just how full that was.
Yeah, we'll definitely jump into every part of what you mentioned.
Great.
So, yeah, let's finish the engines now with the Wwise, how it's working on Wwise. So we can see the simulation for the engine muscle car, which will be this now first-person view. So we're gonna hear it like we are inside of the car. This is a Ford Mustang simulation of the car, of the engine. So this is how it looks in ref. And then when you're satisfied with the simulation, you can there is a lot of things you can change in a way the engine is behaving. What I wanted to create here was joining two different muscle car engines, and to find the best RPMs for both of them, in which they are shine mostly, and try to make a hybrid of two of them. So now we can hear hybrid. Here is the load RPM, which is changing the load of the car when it's driving, putting effort, going in front of us. And when we take load, it's like we have a loose here. So that was the muscle car we heard in the first-person view. And I tried to show you mostly, this is the second engine, which was included. It was Dodge Challenger RT71. So you can see I changed the volume of each one to change how they behave in different RPMs. And there is also, because let me stop here, because we not only simulated the engine by itself, it has a layer of damage as well. When we damage a car, there is another layers are going up, and they are more hearable during the race. But also we tried to create different sound for the exhaust. So when we take the model of the car, the engine have its sound source from the front, where the engine is, but the sound of the exhaust is from the back, and it have a different sound. It have different layers as well. You will hear it now, depending on the RPMs and load. You can hear this low frequency firing, working of the engine hearable from the exhaust. So this is a small touch that gives you, when you're sitting inside of the car, you can hear it on the back, and also when you going in the third-person mode, this is mixed balance with the engine sound as well.
Amazing.
So another thing we wanted to add is velocity effect, the speed, because this is very hard to achieve the speed effect in the game in terms of visuality, but also the sound. The sound gives the whole feeling. So we also added this layer of car going through the masses of the air to give us this speed feeling as well. So we are testing different types of the engines now. This is the hot rod. You can hear they are mixed. They are also mixed. There is not only ref here, because I mixed different layers, different RPMs as well, a little bit of the different sounds of engines from that type of the car, which are not included there. So it gives even more life to the engine. And our Nissan, a Japanese car. Of course, my simulation here is very simple because I'm just changing the RPMs. In game, we are controlling many different RTCPs, different parameters. So it's giving us more and more feedback than I can show here. Just playing it in Wwise.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, you have that ability to simulate in Wwise, disconnected from the game before those systems are in place. But like you say, you can only put your hand on one parameter at a time. So it's not the complete simulation that you get when the game is puppeteering all of those game parameters. And maybe that's the point I want to highlight is, we talked earlier about the difference in simulation between the player car that we've been auditioning here and the NPCs. But the way that rolls down is this list of game parameters that you've been talking about for things like RPM, onload or offload, which is, a vehicle
gear changing.
Yeah, gear changing. You've got velocity,
damage system. Yeah, the speed parameter which gives us, like you said, the velocity. Yeah, there is a lot of things coming there, and under the hood there is a lot of mixed things beside the pure simulation from Crankcase ref. Yeah, so.
Right, and
there's
so
a lot of things.
adding to that, the other pieces that we're going to dig into around the engine, but you're also doing so. In addition to the crankcase simulation, did I hear that you're firing off one shots at different times for different characteristics?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And again, like all trying to satisfy the feeling of these engines in the hands of the player in the game.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is what we wanted to give the people who know those cars. Of course, these are not real cars because we didn't both the licenses for the real cars, but we wanted to try to manage the closest what we can, our dream of a muscle car, hot rod, American, our dream about the American car sound. So we've listened a lot of examples, and we've been choosing. We've been auditioning. We've been trying a lot of demos from Crankcase. So we got all the demos of all the engines, and that was after we put them into the simulation, record them, test them, then we finalize the decision. Okay, we go with this one here, with this one here. We wanted also to make them sound different in the final game. So we know obviously this is muscle, this is hot rod, this is this one. So yeah.
Nice, good distinguishing characteristics across those engine types. Yeah,
and we going to talk about tires. So tires for A, what did we simulate? Each of the 4 tires, so every tire have its own sound source, its emitter on its own. Vehicle speed, this is the most important parameter. So how fast we're going, the more noise our tires will create. But we also had to create it on different surface types. So we have asphalt, we have tarmac, which is like a little bit more destroyed asphalt, grass, gravel, sand, and wood. And this is how it works. So I'm firing a tire which is left front. So we only focus on one tire at the time in simulation. So I'm changing the different surfaces. This is a third-person view, so now we can hear how it's changing with the speed. And the first-person view, the same grass surface, how it sounds inside of the car. The gravel. third-person view. Sand. So as you can see, I use a lot of blenders in this game.
Yeah.
First person view on the sand and tarmac. So you can see in this, well, we can see we have how the chases behave, how the details behave, how the rolling of the tires behave. So there are three different approaches for this sound of the tires. And they're just going. This is the wood. The wood is, I think, the less complex because the wood is only on the bridges. We can find them on the game very rarely when we jump from them, so we didn't put too much effort in the wood. And these are the tires. When we go on the small obstacles which are not stopping the car.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
and for me, when I'm listening to that, right, it's you have such a detailed representation of this single tire. And of
Yeah.
course, as you said earlier,
There are 4 of them. Yeah.
you got 4 of them. And as folks are following along, remember that we're talking about an object in the game. That object now has an engine that is anchored to a position, so that you can move the camera into different perspectives and get that perspective from the listener and camera. And then extrapolating that into each of these tires, and as we'll continue to move through other pieces of the simulation, right, the car becomes this very dynamic object that you've used the word simulation a lot, but I think that it really helps to put in context just how many moving pieces there are in this vehicle system. So great illustrations of that.
So we will stay with the tires, but now we focus on the skids and also on the braking. So what did we simulate in that manner? Of course, each of the 4 tires. And I have to say it because when we talk about different tires, I also was choosing, when I was creating the samples assets in DAV, I was chopping the content this way that all tires have different assets. They're not copying them. So we won't get any effect of, adding the same sounds when the tires are working.
Yeah, that phasing or doubling that might happen if you have a almost overlapping of the same sample. Nice strategy there.
Yeah, but it took a lot of effort and time to do it.
I believe
it was one of the hardest time creating sound for that game, creating the tires the way I wanted to do it. So this is something that really took time, but I'm proud of.
Nice.
So what we simulate each of the 4 tires in the skids, speed of movement. So how fast we are going into this skid, or how fast we are going when we start to brake. Longitudinal slip force and lateral slip force. This is something that was introduced to me by our programmer. He wanted to achieve the best way we could it. So I had to create 2 different systems of slips, and they are crossing each other one after other, the way the car behaves on the slip. So if it's longitudinal or lateral slip or both. And yeah, this is fun. Braking force as well, and all surface types. So yeah, everything have to be done on all types of surfaces, and tire impacts you heard before. So yeah, let's dig in.
And tire impacts, like is that if I understand, it's like the amount of change that a tire goes through, or it's when a tire...
No, it's just going into the small into small obstacle like stone,
Sure.
or changing the surface we are going into. So it's just a bumping of one tire, when it's hitting this. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So we start with the skid simulation. So I'll also be showing you once a time. This is the slip force for longitude. And this is one tire as well.
Right. And each tire's got a different slip force.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the side one. This is braking. Of course, I'm showing it very fast, but we had to simulate these parameters, how they should behave in a game, the way that there is a math involved. Yeah, so yeah, but basically this is how it works. And now let's see how it's working in the game. So we can hear those skids every time, even if we're starting from the beginning and changing the gears. So there is a little bit of the skids as well with the pedal of the gas put it to the floor.
Yeah.
But if you manage to hear it when those two tires from the back of the car are going onto the asphalt, you can hear when they start giving the feedback. You can hear the. So you can hear
Amazing.
that it's actually working as an object. The every tire.
Yeah, that's
here.
cool.
Yeah. All right.
Amazing level of detail.
And this is another example. So we can move to another work we put it into the game, which is chassis and body. There was not so much work involved in it. We just wanted to add some stress for the chases to give the feedback of going in the slip force on the back, that the tension of the car, that the whole chassis and body is moving a lot. So this is one of the parameters we wanted to simulate, and body damage, which has 10 levels of destruction. So 10 levels of the how strong we impacting with the car into any obstacle that can stop us or can decrease our speed for sure. So let's hear the first one. So this will be the tension for the tire the one of the tires. Of course, what we can hear, it's quite loud. I just wanted to, for the show purposes, wanted to show how it sounds on its own, but in game it's much less louder. Another thing is our the crush system, damage system.
And here you're changing the different levels of damage.
They're going from low to high damage.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
And when we do something like that, we can review our car, and we can damage some small obstacles which are not damaging the car on its own. All right.
That's awesome. That was, I want to say, in the first video you showed, you were looking at the event and all of the event actions for that car. That was a lot of event actions. There's a lot.
We can, yeah.
There's a lot hanging off of that event.
Yeah, here.
Yeah,
you mean
exact.
this is all the blenders are connected to one tire, so
Amazing.
you can multiply it by 4. Yeah.
Woo! That's
This is crazy. Yeah.
That's exciting, right? But again, that's what it takes to put all of this detail into a vehicle and get that kind of dynamics out of it. Amazing.
Yeah. But also there was a lot of work with trying to manage how many voices we could have at one time played by the car. So there were some at the last stage there were some decisions how we supposed to manage it. I was profiling the game and trying to manage this small monster of simulation. Hopefully we managed it, and okay, so let's get to radio. So now will be some music because we finished the car section. And what did we simulate? We wanted to have 4 radio talk shows, the main talk shows with radio hosts. But we also included some news, some commercials, interviews, weather forecasts, and different small stuff. Also with the main villain from the game, but I will keep it for those who's gonna play the game. I don't want it to spoil you and give you too much details. So NPCs, they have their own reactions on how you play in the game. So when you're crazy on the road or hit somebody, they're gonna react. But of course, there are some people who are gonna cheer you up during the race or during the police chase. Police is not cheering you up. they trying to catch you. They communicate, but you can hear them because you stealing the radio frequencies from the police. So it's pretty fun to listen to them reacting. And we have music. So the races last until the end of the song. This is something like what I mentioned on the beginning of the presentation. And we have we don't use the adaptive music during the race. This is like putting the tape into the radio and you ready to go. And we race till the end of the song.
And I love that part of the game mechanic. It makes it very clear, like, okay, 3 minutes, go. Like,
Yeah.
outrun, or, you know, chase, or whatever.
Yeah. Or survive.
Survive. Yeah, exact.
Yeah. So yeah, this is how it works, basically. But also I will talk about some adaptive music, which was created for the map later on. Yeah, and there is a small adaptive song at the end of the game, but still I won't play it. You have to go there and to find out.
Nice.
You have to play the game. Yeah. So we also included 2 parameters. One is fatigue and second is the fear. This is both are mechanics from the game. The fear, if you already know, is something that's chasing you all the time in the game, and you escaping from the fear. And the fear, if it's close enough to you, it will start changing your audio you hearing. This is something similar from the FPS games when you're losing your health and you hear your heart. So this is something similar. This is a signal for you. You have to go fast, go forward, don't stop. And the fatigue, this is a system when you're tired and you weren't sleeping in the hotels or in the car during the game on the map. And when you start the race, when you're tired, you will start closing your eyes, and you will see how this mechanic works with the sound as well. And the sirens, we divided the sirens for while and yelp, depending on the area you're and how many cars are around. So the police is changing the way they playing the sirens, the way the normally police do it. Yeah. And let's see the example of the system. So we start in the music. This is a normal gameplay. And this is like...
Freaking inches! You missed me by freaking inches!
So this is NPC interaction. When we miss someone very closely.
Have good skills. You earned those bucks.
This is someone from the racers congratulating us for winning the race.
All pursuit units, stand down. He got away.
And this is police when we win the game with them, when we escape. Chase. So when we finish the main part, we are jumping into the...
So when I was like 7 or something, me and my then bestie Coral bumped into some old lady looking for her kid. Mascara all over, bare fur coat, real crazy type. She promised to give us $10 if we helped her find the damn brat. And back then, we didn't exactly care about stranger danger. We only cared about getting rich. So we were like, absolutely. We searched everywhere.
Yeah, and we can listen to the whole shows, and please listen them. They are so funny. And yeah, this is Tomasz and other people who were involved in writing the voiceovers. They're really great. They're really funny. So this is example, for how the fatigue works. When we closing our eyes, the filter and the reverb is putting the song in the back, simulating when are we going to sleep. And this is this fear system, RTCP. I'll show them in the game how they work with the picture. So again, as you heard, this song was like from
prey?
70s.
Or are you a hunter?
And this is a
Are you
commercial.
little scared mouse? Or are you a man? That's what I thought. Now prove it.
Buy a muscle. Yeah, so the last thing I wanted to show, I think this is the sirens. Yeah, so the song you've heard before, we mentioned to find some for live musician, for example, Marcus from Germany, my friend, was recording the saxophone solos for the song we had before. And here on the guitars, Lucas. Yeah, so you can hear the difference with when the sound is wild and when the yelp. Okay.
Awesome.
So
let me poke a couple of questions at
Yeah.
you. We heard when you were cueing some of the NPC dialogue, you've got some volume reduction happening of the music. Is just
Yeah.
simple auto ducking, I would guess.
It's not. There is a docking in which we're just going down with the volume.
Okay.
We wanted to, because we going with many things down there, and we wanted to have the same effect every time the voiceover are coming, because when we were auto ducking, sometimes the behavior of it wasn't something that we were satisfied with. So we went with the more strict, more
Like you
more
got
predictable way to do it
and that's
for
just
us.
an event action alongside the dialogue line that is
Yes.
reducing the volume of the music and then resuming the volume of the music at the
Yeah.
end of it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Great trick, great technique. And then what about the radio static? So you've got this, the radio starts, it's got a little, and
Yeah.
then, it ends, of course. What was your strategy for implementation on that?
Okay, so first we thought about adding this to the game. So
Yeah.
we had like give the static noise for the radio, and then we go with the show. But after some time, we decide for some of the shows do not have this radio tuning, because they just jump into as for example, the villain have this mechanic. So we decide to, like, let's say, burn it into the tracks
Sure.
of voiceovers in those for which we wanted it to be. So we didn't have to think about the logic when to play the static even or not. Yeah, so
Perfect.
that was easier for us to do it
and-
like this.
And again, I think that this is fitting because now you have the control that you want where you want it. You can make those decisions. And so I think maybe the point is you don't always have to create an elaborate system to, make sure that the static plays at this time procedurally, keep it
Yeah,
simple, put it where you want it, and keep the controls in a place that makes sense. So
Yeah.
thanks.
What I can see now, while I'm working still on another game, when you can keep something simple, please keep it, because there will be many times when you're gonna grow, and you will create a really large system.
Yeah.
So every time you save some space in the places which are not, in which you're not necessarily have to create something big, then keep it simple. It's good rule
Nice.
for me.
Nice. Okay. And Guido's joining in. He's got a question. What about the color strategy that you have here? You're showing the Soundcaster with a bunch of different events. Do you have a color coding for the different categories of sound? What's your strategy?
Okay, so for some of the events, I had some strategy. For example, The map events here, you can see they are green. The system for the heartbeat is red. The system from the radio, the map song is yellow. The main system of this music only is blue. So I just was checking the colors for the system I want to see in the soundcaster as fast as I could. There are different. I was mostly checking with the colors, different engines and different camera view mix for those engines. So they also were changed, and the things I didn't jump into the things I was not visiting very often. For example, like you see here, engine cars from NPCs.
Sure.
They were staying gray, so they won't distract my focus. So
Perfect.
I only coloring things that really with which I work very often. So this helps me to find those things faster.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks.
This is how I work. Yeah.
That's great. Thanks for the question, Guido. And folks out there following along, please keep feeding us with any questions you have, and we'll carry it to you.
Ends of ending of the race.
Hold on. This is it, folks. This is the hero we always needed but never deserved. The whole city's in a state of fucking paralysis because this chick just made the grandest entrance of her life. And I don't care that you're all so convinced she's a dude, because that dude's a chick. Mark my words. She's like a jackalope. The interstate jackalope. Ooh, that has a nice ring to it. Hear that, American Press Association? You should hire me. Actually, no, don't. Ooh, a cookie! Guys, I just found a cookie! Been looking for you for a week, buddy. Oh yeah. Oh, mother of God. That's delicious. It's like tasting sunshine. Shut the fuck up, Chirpwood! I'm tasting sunshine!
Yeah, so extra effort for adding 4 voice overs, for example, Doc.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nice. This reminds me of the other genre of chase movie from the 70s, and that would be Cannonball Run and Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
Comedy.
Yeah.
Priceless.
Yeah, so we've put it a lot of such a small details into the radio talk shows. When, for example, there is a talk show with the lady who's divorcing with other guy, and there is a scene when he's just ramming the doors, he's kicking the doors, screaming, and she's during the show and she's screaming to him as well, and she's going to those doors. So yeah, you had to simulate the whole scene, imagine it, how it sounds from the perspective of this one mic from the radio show, how people are behaving in the room.
Yeah.
So that was involving my experience from the movies, from the animations, which really helped to work with such challenges.
Yeah, I mean, it's like designing a radio play. You're building all of the drama into that scene. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What a dream.
And the last stop before the finish is the small chunk of adaptive music for the map. And what we simulated on the map by the music. So I created some of the horizontal layers and a little bit of different loops which are appearing or disappearing during the sound effects during the changing the states. So we have like action, idle state, fear, tension, which changes the sound of the music as well. Wanted level, money, how much money we have, and fatigue. So how we are Are we sleepy or not? And the map engine as well, because there was a small challenge to create as well the engine for the map by itself, so we can
Right.
ride in the
Because
map.
there's a mechanism in the map where you can speed up and slow down.
Yeah.
With a chance to be detected by the cops along the way. Cool.
Yeah. So this is how the songs from the map are working. This is the idle state, and this is the action layer. When we start to going somewhere. So when we're stopping, there is a long fade out from the action layer, so the music is not destroyed or cut it down too fast. So we have peer layer, which adds some more space and percussive things. Police layer is only staying with those percussive stuff. No money layer. And the sleep layer, which gives a feeling of feeling sleepy on the map. So all the rhythm is gone at the moment. And of course, in this the simulation, we have radio events. So you have to break the song and give the voiceover during that, and then we have to get back to the same state from the voiceover. So this is something we had to add as well. And here is how the engine is working on the map. So we have our Japanese car, and you can see there is a speed and checked on with the red color, which means that when we going too fast, we're speeding, our wanted level will increase and police will start to looking for us. And this is the fatigue. So the focus, when the focus level is too low and we're starting to get sleepy, the filter is kicking in when we close our eyes. It gives you the feeling like all your senses are cutting off and it's very hard to drive. You cannot see anything, you cannot hear anything because you're getting asleep.
Don't get too excited, I'm right behind you!
Yeah. And the last system, the fear. And this is the hot rod car.
Hey, where are you? We're still racing, aren't we? You're no
So classical low cut.
loser.
But it works. It works. It's
Well, I love that as a way to message to the player the current state of these, fear and fatigue. I think it's really effective. And I just want to say, like, you mentioned earlier having to prioritize, what systems you put different interactivity into. And again, these messaging to the player what their current status is, I think was really effective. And the interactive music that you gave an example of in the menu, again, the decision to make very clear, race time dependent on a fixed set of music without dynamics or interactivity, versus this map music, which again has a ton of dynamics built into it. Again, messaging to the player the current state or where they're at in the game. I think invested your time in the right place, because it really contributes to that feeling that you have as you're playing. Where am I? How am I feeling? And it's connecting those emotions. Question from Florian, good to see you in the chat. Is there a soundtrack out for Heading Out?
Yes, there is. You can buy it also with the game. I hope in the future to release maybe a vinyl for the album for Heading Out. But you can also find out it on Spotify, on Apple Music, on Tidal. I think the most of the streaming services, music services, supposed to have Heading Out. And YouTube, on YouTube, you can also have you can find the some of the songs for sure from the single album. But yeah, you can have the album in highest quality when you buy the deluxe edition of the game, but you can also have the soundtrack on its own in those streaming services.
Awesome.
And our journey is finishing. I hope you will get deep dive into the game. You have chance. Thank you for having me here. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate. I can answer them. So yeah, but that was the journey I had with Heading Out for 4 years. I'm now having other journey with also noir black and white game, Mouse PI for Hire.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Another one
so
we're looking forward to over here.
That's great. Yeah, so I'm in a noir state with the music and sound effects, and I'm loving it because this is a challenge. This is a challenge for the teams to give the feedback in visual way, so you can see the things in black and white environment. For example, here in Heading Out, they're using some of the colors to show a little bit of the mechanics in a game. Yellow, red, and blue. These are main colors which are shown in a game. In some of the parts, they have their own specific place there. But yeah, showing it visually how the black and white game supposed to work and look like a comic book, like here in Heading Out. That was a massive challenge for our visual technical department in our game. So it was marching.
Right.
It was marching, doing work on that. Yeah. So if you have any questions, just.
Cool. Had folks following along. If you got questions here at the end as we're wrapping up, let us know and we'll carry them to the conversation here. Again, just a masterclass in vehicle audio. It's often said in the context of racing games that the car is the star, and I think we see that very clearly in where you put your energy in heading out. Just a ton of work done to support the simulation of racing across the country. And what I love about this game is it weaves in that emotional narrative, that storytelling piece, and communicates at every moment, what the state of the characters, whether we're talking about the car, how much it's slipping, sliding, breaking, damage, but also on the other side, when we go into the map, we're listening to this interactive music that is pulling from their fatigue and their fear and their place in the race. I think there's just this is when audio is working well for me interactively, is when it's pulling all of these different properties together in order to surface a unique experience with audio. So congratulations, pulling all of those threads together to represent the player's journey across this experience. So really cool. I'm going to call out again. Here we are, Wise Up on Air. You've got Damian and Damian today. And this is just an incredible moment here. It's a gift to be with you. Where can folks find more about heading out?
You can find out more on the Steam when you can buy, where you can buy the game. Also, you can find it on PlayStation and Xbox platforms, so you can enjoy them on your consoles.
Great.
This is quite fresh release because we started only with PC release, and then after some time we managed to push. The team managed to push, because I was not involved into the making the game work on the consoles. But yeah, I think they did it great with cola crunching. So yeah, you can enjoy it now in many places.
Great. And is this Prezi available somewhere that folks can
Yes.
take a look at and even dig into some of these gameplay videos that you've shared?
The link, which is for my presentation, it
Great.
can be public. You can
Great.
add it to the description of the video.
Great.
So
We'll
you
get
can
that.
just get in and watch it again in 4K, because I believe in stream you couldn't see many of the details, so you can watch them again on your own.
Perfect. We'll get the Prezi linked to the description and drop that in the chat for folks so they can dig deeper, because yeah, a ton of detail in here. Thanks so much for sharing with the community out there, making games, making audio sound great. So Damian, thanks for coming today.
Thank you for having me as well, Damian.
I love it. So folks, thanks.
I just add one last thing. When Guido was saying hello, Damian, I was saying hello, like, because he was saying to you, and I was like, eh. I was reacting as well.
I love it.
Yeah.
What a gift to be here today. So thanks again for sharing. Thanks folks for tuning in. Maybe see you at Game SoundCon next week. Otherwise, tune in for our next Wise Up on Air, and hope to see you in the chat. Until next time. Cool. Guido, nice
Bye.
work, man. All right.
Yeah.
See you soon. Ciao.
See you soon.